Caribbean, I am Florian Mendonca from French Guyana.
And I am Jeremy Elso from Guadeloupe. Welcome to the Caribbean Passport TV.
French Guyana is located on the northern coast of South America, and it is the largest overseas region of France. Half of the population live in the capital, Cayenne, which dates back to the 17th century. Most of my country is covered by lush rainforest, and the Guyana Amazonian Park is the largest national park in the European Union. French Guyana is also home to the Guyana Space Center, the main launch site of the European Space Agency.
Okay, Florian. Guadeloupe is also an overseas region of France, and it is located in the Leeward Islands. Pointe-à-Pitre, Bastille, and Les Abymes are our main cities. Both French and Creole are spoken here, and our culture is dominated by African and European elements. With its lush forest, scenic white sand beaches, and coral reefs, Guadeloupe is the perfect vacation destination.
Now it's time to get ready for more great destinations, events, and activities around this region, from crop over to emancipation fashion and more.
And the action starts right now. Wow! The Barbados Crop Over Festival is one of the Caribbean top summer events.
The parties have begun, with a whole lot more excitement on the way leading up to the Grand Cadouement.
The preps are done. Everything has fallen into place, and Crop Over 2025 is underway. One of Barbados's biggest annual events, which historically celebrates the end of the sugarcane harvest season, again starts off with the ceremonial delivery of the last canes. It's a day for the family, with arts, crafts, and cultural displays that included calypso performances. It's an apt lead-in to the similarly organized Bridgetown Market, which will operate throughout the festival, with the kids being entertained by traditional characters, as the parents buy authentic handcrafted souvenirs.
Crop Over is coming up for the summer, and the August 4th will be our Grand Cadouement. So that week leading up to August 4th is really the culmination of our Crop Over Festival. And we look forward to welcoming the entire Caribbean to Barbados for Crop Over. We have our breakfast parties, we have our concerts, we have our evening parties. It's just a week long of activity in terms of the culmination. But remember, Crop Over is not just that week. Crop Over really is a 6-week celebration of our arts. So there's the visual arts components as well that will start earlier. That's already started actually. So there are different components of Crop Over. Even if you don't want to be involved in the final jump up and the partying, also come and be a part of the other elements of Crop Over. It's something that we encourage persons. We have pan, and that's something that we also encourage the pan lovers to come out to. So as I said, if you don't want to come for the final big weekend, certainly pan weekend is another alternative for people to come. So we certainly invite the entire Caribbean to Barbados for Crop Over.
The hottest local entertainers will do what they do best on stage. The attendees will respond in the most enthusiastic manner possible. Of course, the more traditional and established events are what truly light things up. The Junior Cadouement and the Junior Monarch Finals will present the next generation of masqueraders and musical artists enjoying their initial steps on the big stage. As for the current state of established local superstars, all roads lead to the Pick of the Crop Finals, where Barbados's Calypso Monarch for 2025 will be crowned. There'll be anticipation and excitement aplenty, even before dawn on Grand Cadouement Day, when revelers covered in paint and mud will hit the streets, fueled by both live and DJ-provided music, processions that are a part of the 4-day morning jam, which will set the tone for the actual Grand Cadouement. This will feature around 15,000 revelers in several masquerade bands, partying in the streets of St. Michael, while displaying the ingenuity that has helped to set Barbados apart.
Carry Festa is here and we're hosting it in Barbados again, August 22nd to 31st. So August is full of activities. So there's crop over at the beginning of the month and then there's Carry Festa at the end. So if you have time, you could come in for the entire month. But if not, if crop over or Carry Festa. And as you know, Carry Festa really is bringing the entire Caribbean to Barbados and showcasing who we are as a people, our culture, our heritage, our food, our music. So even all of the artists we have here this evening, showcasing them. We have our visual arts, our spoken word. We have super concerts. We have the culinary display where we have each country coming for Carry Festa to really showcase their food. We have dance as well. So we are really looking forward to the entire schedule of events for Carry Festa. Again, we invite the entire Caribbean to come to Barbados for Carry Festa, a melting pot of culture activity this summer in Barbados.
Lots of excitement and things to do in Barbados for sure.
And now it's time to give back. This involved the Just Because Foundation and the Chinese Community 7K Road Race, which was held late last year.
The Chinese Community Friendship 7K Road Race delivered on competition, close finishes, and exciting rewards all around. This event had purpose, and that was to donate part proceeds to the Just Because Foundation, which is dedicated to providing greater awareness and assistance of childhood cancer. So when the Futong Association, one of the main organizers of the Chinese Community Friendship 7K Road Race, made its donation to the Just Because Foundation, it was for a very worthy cause.
Thanks, Ewa. On behalf of our Chinese community, I would like the 7K Road Race. I would like to donate this check to you for your good work for the children. Keep up the good work, right? So,
thank you so much for this donation. It is going to help us continue the work and, most important, the awareness of childhood cancer in Trinidad and Tobago.
Donations and fundraising are important to the operations of the Just Because Foundation, which also draws its financing through its various events and activities.
Even as we say thanks again to President Joe Chan and those persons who supported the 7K Road Race in order to raise funds toward the work of the Just Because Foundation, we're extremely grateful. And even to continue in terms of what we are doing next, is that we want to invite everyone to what we call the JBF Folk Concert. That's on Sunday, the 21st of September. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And we will be at Napa at the Folk Concert, which stands for Have Only Positive Expectations. It's unique because our childhood cancer patients are the stars of the show. They will be performing along with their parents, doctors, nurses. It's going to be an awesome event. So Just Because Foundation, we're looking out for your support. Sunday 21st of September at Napa for the JBF Folk Concert 2025.
The treatment and recovery of children with cancer is an important and major concern, and the Just Because Foundation's campaign has been boosted further thanks to help from some good friends. So let us all give.
You know, the regional impact of Republic's Bank Power to Make a Difference program includes St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where the Rotary Club has been involved in several projects.
Thanks to Republic Bank, some children with special needs can now enjoy greater access to the school. Take a look.
Our club has numerous projects that we want to do throughout our community, and we were really fortunate when we saw Republic Bank was promoting the PMAD, and it just seemed like a no-brainer to us. Here's a company with incredible corporate responsibility and who want to support community projects, and here's an NGO, our club, that also wants to support community projects. Our club is very closely linked to the School for Children with Special Needs, And the PMAD has enabled us to purchase a brand new school bus to transport the children from their homes to the school and from the school back to their homes in a really safe manner with somebody who understands their needs. So we're very grateful to Republic Bank and PMAD for financing. I would strongly encourage other nonprofit organizations and NGOs to apply to the PMAD. They've made it very simple for us to do it. The application form is quite simple to fill out, and it goes through a consideration process, and within no time we have a response, and they're very, very willing to work with us. We are extremely happy with the partnership that we've formed with the Republic Bank and PMAD, and I think it's almost a no-brainer to access this funding to help build our community.
I've always believed that doing the right thing takes patience. It shows a deeper commitment to create something that people will enjoy for a long time to come. So we take our time to get El Dorado right. And we're taking the time to make the world's most sustainable rum. When we started our sustainability journey, it was not something that rum distilleries prioritized. But not us. We knew the impact on Guyana and on the planet was becoming more and more important to the rum we make.
Guyana has a very unique environment, blessed with tropical rains and sunshine throughout the year. That is why 3/4 of the country's landmass is covered by lush, untouched rainforests, which is the home of over 1,200 different species of animals. Preserving the environment is the key to our El Dorado brand strategy. We aim at keeping the entire supply chain, from raw materials through the production process to the point of delivery to the market, in a manner that minimizes the impact of our operation on the environment.
Rum making uses energy and makes waste. Back in 2010, we built a biomethanization plant to use the waste from the distillery to produce energy in the form of biogas. Adding to that, nearly 2/3 of our fuel that we use for power generation comes from liquefied natural gas, which emits 20% less carbon as compared to conventional diesel combustion. The CO2 we produce during fermentation is captured, treated, pressurized, and liquefied for use in soft drink according to PepsiCo's standard of 99.9% purity, as well as other industrial uses, thus reducing the release of CO2 gas into the atmosphere. But efficiency is where we make the big difference. Our new stills recovers and reuses energy so that we use less to make more. And with the bottling plant metering system, we're able to save on precious water.
Rum is an integral part of our history as a Guyanese people, and El Dorado enjoys a very close relationship with the communities in which we operate. Our DDL Foundation and cadetship programs provide educational opportunities for young Guyanese so that the next generation can enjoy this world that we are striving to protect.
I do believe that because rum is a product from the agriculture sector, the environment is absolutely key in terms of rum production on a sustainable basis. And that is why our goal is to keep El Dorado as the one brand that has the smallest footprint when it comes to rum on the international market.
Welcome back. If you like our style, credit must go to designer Robert Young of the cloth.
styled here by famous stylist Richard Young, who was the creative director of Ewa Afrika, a production of the Emancipation Support Committee of Trinidad and Tobago. He was a director of a recent show where fashion was used to portray the essence of African culture, while top entertainers also added to the excitement.
Among the cultural festivals that feature on the Caribbean calendar during the summer is Emancipation Day on August 1st, along with the related activities and events that extend over a 2-month period. A relatively recent addition to this schedule over the past 4 years is Ewa Afrika, a fashion show in which the essence of African history and culture is expressed through design.
This show is the inaugural show in a string of activities leading up to Emancipation Day. Ewa Afrika is the name of a project that the Emancipation Support Committee of Trinidad and Tobago, and it means beautiful Africa. And I always give it a subtitle. The first year I called it Nubian Renaissance. The second year I called it Sankofa Style. The third year I called it the Folklore. And this year I call it Conscious Threads. And the reason I call it Conscious Threads is because I want to connect to the mantra of the Emancipation Support Committee this year, which is to shape sustainable futures through reparatory justice. So I have said, let's weave truths and shape futures in style. And so I'm connecting it with that. So I wanted to talk about fashion in the Caribbean that is Afrocentric, so it's Afro-Caribbean fashion.
Staged at the Queen's Hall in Port of Spain, the 2025 edition of Ewa Afrika involved the well-known and respected creative director Richard Young as he laid out a storyline that featured a total of 21 designers on this special night of creative endeavor.
When I do the show, it becomes mine in a way. I craft it so that it tells a story because I believe myself to be a storyteller. So the story is conscious threads. How do we connect the past to reinstate who we are and forge a new future? I believe in the Caribbean aesthetic, and everybody knows me. I'm an advocate for the Caribbean aesthetic, and I am very ardent about that. But very, very integral in the Caribbean aesthetic is the Afro-Caribbean sensibility. And so, therefore, it twins beautifully with what I do when I get the chance to craft their show. And what I do is I intersplice performances in it because I feel it's all about identity branding. It's not just a fashion show to say there is an item for me to buy. And I do it long before the Emancipation celebration so that we have post-show footage of it and features at the Emancipation time. But it is in a way to bring audiences to peep in at the work of these craftspeople and these artisans so that you can wear the garments at Emancipation times.
Once again, the quality of the production lived up to expectations, thanks to a thrilling mix of performance genres.
Dion Batiste did a fabulous dance in tribute to one of the African goddesses. And I brought Tricanal in this year, and Tricanal has a long history working with a cloth. So they were there with their rapso art, which is all social commentary. I brought in a poet called Naomi Abiola, who used a piece of poetry, which is a kind of decolonizing statement about how we have been imbued with stories and rhymes that are from our colonial past that we all know, and they don't even make sense to us. And then I also had Terry Lyons, so I think it's definitely a purveyor of a new brand of soca and calypso, and being a woman and so empowered and so Afrocentric in her drive. And I twin them, as I say, I pair them with designers that belong in the genre of what their performances speak to. So that Dominique LaRoche was aligned with Abiola. So she became like a griot on stage, and the models came on stage and sat and listened to the storytelling while showing the garments. The Caribbean splendor in the cloth because of what Robert Young does. I brought on stage with flags to go with the celebration and the revolution, as it were, that Tree Canal brings to bear when they are doing their social commentary. You know, as much as the music is rhythmic, as much as we are exhilarated by the sound, it really is a probing, thought-provoking kind of piquing at different interests and awakening senses that you left dormant. Terry Lyons, I paired with a woman from Tobago called JCD Designs, Cassie Daniel. She does hand-painted in bold colors, emblazoned on natural fiber garments. And so I thought it was beautiful because it's kind of Afro-futuristic. So I kind of lined them together so they belong together. And she almost paid homage to the gods because she did a piece that was almost like a hymn.
As always, the genesis of a top-notch live production is rooted within details that have been fleshed out during an intensive pre-production process.
The sequence of the show is done by my griots, Abiyo Jackson and Conrad Paris, who are thespians of note. So I write a fantastic script that while you're looking at the show and you are appreciating the beauty, you are hearing the storytelling that we have to reassess ourselves. We have to reevaluate who we are. We have to not be antagonistic to things that are probably a little ugly because of slavery, indentureship, and colonialism. But we need to come out of it and say, how can we forge a new visioning? And so I believe that through fashion as a portal, I am able to address that, and through theatrical presentations of fashion. So the show raises your pause. There are goose pimple moments, there are smiling moments, there are teary-eyed moments, because you're raising the issue of a people that came out of slavery and how they have to integrate, reform, revolutionize, but find a new path, and a new proud path, which I think the Caribbean is.
Ewa Afrika 25 served as another reminder for us here in the Caribbean to acknowledge our own talent and creativity through a constant yearning to express our ideas and our stories in our own unique way.
Oh, island in the sun, made for me by my father's hands, all my days I will sing and pray.
One of the highlights of the Connect Barbados 2025 event was the awards show.
It was an occasion when JCD Associates Ltd was again recognized for excellence in its coverage of the Caribbean and one of the world's top destinations.
Established as one of the world's most highly regarded travel destinations for decades, Barbados consistently delivers the goods when it comes to eye-catching seaside scenery, exciting activities, thrilling attractions, and pulsating events. Which is precisely why this island is a goldmine for global tour operators who've enjoyed further opportunities through Connect Barbados, a business-to-business forum that celebrated its latest edition at the Wyndham Grand Barbados Resort, Sam Lord's Castle in St. Philip. One of the highlights of the event was the Connect Barbados Awards, where recognition was given to invaluable trade partners and media organizations that have helped to raise Barbados's reputation to the global level. This group includes JCD Associates Ltd, producer of Caribbean Passport TV, Caribbean Medical TV, and a company that has long chronicled Barbados through a variety of visual platforms.
Judy Chong Dennison, founder of JCD Associates Ltd, has spent over 30 years documenting and promoting Caribbean tourism.
Hi, I am Judy Chong Dennison. Welcome to Caribbean Passport, a new travel series with a completely different approach. We'll be inviting you to join us on location as we experience the beauty of the Caribbean live and direct.
From showcasing regional festivals on CNN, BET, and the Travel Channel UK to producing in-flight series Caribbean Essence, Judy has long worked alongside the Barbados tourism marketing team. Ladies and gentlemen, Judy Chong Dennison.
The receipt of the award for travel media excellence confirms the high-quality impact that continues to be made by JCD Associates, a track record that has done the Caribbean video production industry proud, while constantly highlighting the best that Barbados has to offer.
I just want to join with the BTMI management in celebrating Judy, Anthony, Delia, and the whole Caribbean Passport TV family on this significant achievement. We hope that it will send a signal that we support excellence, we support high standards, and we support those who will tell the story and will share the story of not just Barbados, but the whole of the Caribbean as a destination that is worthy of all visitors from all over the world to come to.
Judy has been making an indelible mark on the Caribbean for so many years. Trailblazer is the word that comes to mind. She's changed the trajectory of telling our story and telling our story authentically. I think that this is certainly an amazing honor that has been bestowed upon her. And I think it's great when we can celebrate our own and our people who are making such a mark. So Judy, congratulations. And we can't wait to see all of the other things and the lasting mark that you're going to leave on our industry.
It would be remiss of me not to highlight Caribbean Passport. You have food and rum, you have medical tourism. No matter what it is, Caribbean Passport has had some sort of filming regarding the matter. And, it's something that I think locals look forward to on Saturdays. You walk past CBC, you get a glimpse and you're drawn in. You have no choice but to stay tuned and to see what's new, what's next, what's up.
The message is clear. This award reflects the talent and output of our team members, with the promise of a recommitment to high-quality standards that will continue to touch minds and inspire ambitions.
Congratulations to JCD Associates Ltd. Of course, we will continue to highlight the beauty in all aspects of this beautiful region.
Once again, I'm Jeremy Elso. Myself and Florian Mendonca were proud to be your hosts on Caribbean Passport TV.
We wish everyone all the best. Take care. Goodbye. À bientôt.